What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another video. I finally completed my Midway Legacy Edition review by Arcade1Up. Been very pleased with this machine. I've had this thing for about 4 or 5 weeks to be exact, and hey, I have nothing but, for the most part, great things to say about it. Especially, I love the 12 games included, and that's what it's all about, the games, you know what I mean? This is, in my opinion, arguably the best collection of arcade games we have seen in an Arcade1Up Legacy cabinet. Meaning, like, the best variety. I feel like this is the one you'll want to get. I will happily go over the games, and we'll point out some key details and features coming up right after this.
Boingity-bop, flippity-flop.
Now, I've spent a lot of time with this machine over the last month. Between myself and the kids, we've really spent a lot of time on this machine. It's so much fun. It has a great variety of games on that machine. Probably the best overall variety of any of the Legacy cabinets. I feel like you get the best replay value with this machine. And I would recommend this machine to any arcade enthusiast. It has an excellent variety of classic Midway games from the 1980s and early 90s. Unlike the Capcom Legacy Edition cabinet, which gives you 5 variations of Street Fighter II and includes the original Street Fighter that hasn't aged very well, only leaving you with the 6 other classic Capcom titles. The Midway Legacy gives you Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, which leaves a vacancy for 9 other top-notch Midway classics, giving you a little more variety than the Capcom Legacy. One thing I immediately noticed was that there was more space for your left hand to rest while maneuvering the joystick. Comparing it to the Capcom Legacy, which has the annoying groove right where your hand rests, this Midway gives you a little more hand space. It's just an overall more comfortable playing experience, especially if you're going to be on this thing for, more than a half an hour or to an hour. That groove can get annoying, especially if you're sitting down on the Capcom. With that being said, though, in defense of the Capcom Legacy, at any time you can choose to play on the right side with any game on the Capcom Legacy, and the right side has more room. The sound and joysticks are serviceable, good quality speakers, joysticks and buttons are decent. Here's a tip though, use a pair of pliers to hold the joystick in place while you tighten the back top by hand. It will never loosen up on you again. This machine looks beautiful. I mean, it's playable eye candy, as we call them. An attractive showpiece for any game room, even if you never play on them. Personally, I bought it because I was very fond of the games. Playing these classics on a PC or home game console, it's just not the same experience as this 3/4 scale unit. Now let's get into the games. All the games on this cabinet are either 2-player co-op or alternating. The Mortal Kombats play very well. The speakers give off that crisp audio and vocals that you remember being one of the hallmarks of this game. The joysticks are excellent for pulling off your favorite moves and fatalities. If I was to nitpick about the emulation appearance, I would complain that there's little to offer in regards to scanline options or the ability to smooth out the pixels. Other than that, I am pleased with the appearance, the sound, and overall quality of the arcade ports of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Now, Root Beer Tapper is one of my favorites on this cabinet. You have the option to play 2-player alternating. You have the choice of using the Player 2 joystick as your beer fling, which is a very fun way to serve the customers unique to this cab. Or you can just use any button of your choosing to serve the drinks. Paperboy, on the other hand, was a little disappointing because it would have been cool to use the second joystick as your bike brake. Instead, you're limited to just one joystick. The joystick you'll have to use to steer, maneuvering it left to right. Accelerating by going up, braking by going down with the joystick. You can also use 3 buttons assigned to paper throwing, accelerating, and braking. Your choice. It takes a little getting used to. Bubbles is a great game, action-packed and addicting to score chase. All you need is the joystick as you collect crumbs and avoid the bugs and other objects that can hurt you. Think of it as a Pac-Man without the mazes. Wizard of War, a cool game from 1980. It reminds me of Night Stalker from the Intellivision. And I can only use the left joystick and play as the yellow hero. I don't know if this is a defect, but I mean the computer controls the blue character always. And there's no co-op either. I don't know if the original arcade had that option or not. It's a fun game, nonetheless. Joust is a fantastic game. For those of you that don't know about this classic, you flap your wings and knock your enemies off their flying birds. The high joust will pick off the lower joust. A hidden secret on this cab is when using the run button while playing this game. The run button is a turbo flapper. Use it to quickly flap your way out of danger. So technically, this is a 2-button joust game. You can use any button to flap as fast as your fingers can press it, aside from hitting that run button for a turbo flap ability. Rampage is one of my daughter's favorites. It's just mindless co-op fun with a friend or loved one. A good time indeed. But I mean, my favorite Rampage version will always be Rampage World Tour for the Nintendo 64. But, you know, this is the original. It's on this cabinet. It's still a good time. Gauntlet is another favorite of my daughter. A lot of button mashing, maze solving, co-op fun that never ages. For all ages, I'd say. My daughter's almost 5 and she really loves that Gauntlet game. Go figure. Now, Defender is fun. A great port. I've never played it in the arcades, but I remember playing it on the Atari 2600. It's one of the first side-scrolling shooters ever made. A game that I look forward to getting into some high-score chasing with friends in the future. The controls feel a little weird at first. You just need to get used to them, but the fun factor is there. And last but not least is tubing. You used the left and right button to paddle your way down the river, avoiding obstacles, animals, and other hazards as you float down the stream in style. Now, I am very pleased with this machine, and I recommend it to anyone that's curiously considering it. Although right now it's probably hard to find. It seems to be sold out. The Capcom Legacy and the Midway Legacy are really freaking hot items right now, so it's hard to find them in stock. But if you do find them, that Midway, man, is excellent. I would say, I mean, I love Street Fighter more than Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter series is just my favorite fighting series of all time. Mortal Kombat is probably like 3rd or 4th down the line. I love Mortal Kombat, but I would say that if you can only have one of these legacies, I would say the friggin' Midway Legacy is the best overall 12 games. And you know, if anyone has any questions or concerns or comments about the Midway Legacy 1-Up, let me know down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you again real soon on the next one. See you for Wednesday Night Live. Peace out, everyone. Number 4 is the rocket launcher. Tell me situation that you played a video game and a rocket launcher was available and it just did not enhance your experience. Yeah.